Hello and welcome to Diary of a Common Man. My name is Salim Lalani. Last week we began a mini series on 150 ways of making Agakhan rich. But since I began that series, I've been getting calls and I've been getting emails telling me I have missed out on a few things. So by the time we finish this mini series, the number 150 may have increased. So we don't know the correct number just as yet, but we'll keep at it and see what happens. We discussed how complex the system is when it comes to financial arrangements and the way to extort money from the murids. And the way it is structured is this, that the entire extortion racket is based on indoctrination, on the mind captivation. And when the mind captivation has happened, then it is time to basically steal money. And the way to steal money, what Agakhan has done, he has split the system in two parts. One is the Jamaat Khana and one is AKDN. We will not talk about AKDN today, we will talk about Jamaat Khana. In fact, we began discussing Jamaat Khana last week. Within the Jamaat Khana, you have your daily Jamaat Khana and you have majalises. We spoke about the daily Jamaat Khana last week. This week we are going to talk about majalises. So just to recap, how many different methods there are in the daily Jamaat Khana? There is Dua Karavi, there is Nandi, there is Ruhani ki Dua, there is Mushkil Asan ki Dua, there is Guna Bakshamni ki Dua, there are marriages and there are funeral services. These are the 9 different methods that we basically pay for in the daily Jamaat Khana. But now we are going to discuss what happens in majalises. There are further rituals and further ceremonies that are not available on a daily basis. So what are they? So number 1, you have Guna Bakshamni ka Chhata. Now Chhata, you know, it's sprinkling of water on your face. Sprinkling of pure water, the divine water, the holy water. And this holy water tradition is it is a Christian tradition where holy water is sprinkled on a sinner's face to make them pure. So there are 3 varieties of chhata available. One is Guna Bakshamni, that means that remember you are a sinner, you go to Mukhi Sahib, you kneel down and you hand them some money and basically confess that you are a sinner. And you are asking for Agakhan's forgiveness. They basically sprinkle the holy water touched by Agakhan on your face in the belief that your sins are forgiven. Then you have Mushkil Asan Chhata. So Mushkil Asan Chhata, the way it works is that the life is full of difficulties. And the way to resolve those difficulties is to go to Mukhi Sahib and hand him some money, kneel down, fold your hands in submission and say that I am a sinner. And obviously because I am a sinner, all these difficulties are coming my way. And I seek forgiveness from Agakhan. So once again, Mukhi Sahib basically sprinkles water and hopefully the mushkil or the difficulty is resolved. Then the third variety comes when you have Mahadan Ka Chhata. Now, what is Mahadan Ka Chhata? Maha in Sanskrit is great. And Dan is din, which is day. So a great day. What is a great day? The day of judgment. That is the day Islam believes that Allah will wake everyone up and make his judgment. Some will go to heaven, some will go to hell. So, Mahatanka Chata is designed to bypass this Allah's procedure. So, the way it works is that before you go there, before you go up there, you go to Mukhi Sahib while you're alive or while you're on your deathbed. You basically either go to Mukhi Sahib or Mukhi Sahib comes to you and basically gives you this final chata. The belief, Ismaili belief, is that this chata basically makes sure that whatever sins are left are written off before you depart this world. That is called the Mahatanka Chata. So when you go up there, God does not have to worry about making any judgments. Yeah. So these are the three types of chatas. Then we have Awal Sufro. Now, Awal Sufro is not available on a daily basis. What is available daily is Nandi. But on a majalis, there is a Awal Sufro. Awal means first. Sufro means all the Nandi that has been brought by the entire Jamaat is called a Sufro. So say your Jamaat is 5,000 strong and 2,000 people have brought some food for the Imam. So 2,000 items of food collectively is called a Sufro. Now, why do they call it Awal Sufro? Awal is because they are going to auction the same food twice. And Awal is the first auction. And in this auction, whoever wins the auction does not get the food items. He gets or she gets spiritual blessings, as if that person brought the entire 2,000 items. All the 2,000 items, the spiritual benefit will be assigned to that person. So in the Awal Sufra, the way it works is in the middle of the majalis, Mukhi Sahib basically signals a person to conduct the auction. Imagine there are 5,000 people sitting in the Jamaat Khana and the auctioneer basically begins the auction. And say the auction goes for $5,000. And the person who has won the auction, they stand up and make a victory march. Everybody gets to see this person, how generous, how much of a bhagat or a fanatic this guy is, and how much he loves the Mola. And they can also see how wealthy he is. So that's what I mean when I say that he begins a victory march towards Mukhi Sahib in front of the congregation and gives him the money. Mukhi Sahib accepts it and blesses him, obviously, and he basically goes back to his seat and obviously very elated, very happy. Now, that is the procedure for Awal Sufra. The same food will be auctioned again, item by item, and that is called Nandi. So we have now offered Awal Sufra as well. Then we have cash memani. Now, what is a cash memani? Awal Sufra is a memani. You know what memani is. Let me explain. Memani is basically entertaining somebody at your home. So inviting somebody over for dinner and basically looking after them, offering them food, entertainment, etc. That is called a memani. That is you are the host and they are the guest. So in this case, you are the host and Imam is the guest. So you are basically offering him food. Although you come to his house to offer him food, he doesn't come to your house. Okay, so that is a difference. So you bring all this food and you do the Nandi for him, and he enjoys the cash, Awal Sufra, etc. But say you basically haven't got so much money to basically bid for Awal Sufra. And say, for example, you don't want to participate in Nandi, you don't want to bring Nandi, you don't have time to cook or go to a supermarket to buy the food for Mola, for the Imam. Don't worry, we have one more option. And that option is called cash memani, in other words, envelope memani. So a person will be seated in your Jamaat Khana, and all you do is to go there and you say to them, this is my memani for my Mola. So you can put in an envelope whatever you want to put, $10, $100, $1,000, whatever dollars. Okay. And nobody will ask you. You will basically get the blessings as if you've done the memani of the Imam. When I left in 2014, I heard rumors that a fixed price memani has also being designed. Whether it has been designed and commissioned, I don't know. If you have heard of the fixed price memani, please let me know. So that is yet another way of making Agakhan rich. Then you have Abe Shifa. Now with Abe Shifa, what happens is, this is again not available on a daily basis, this is only on the majalis. So in Abe Shifa, what happens is, again you are a sinner. Remember, don't forget, the system will, even if you forget, the system will not let you forget that you are a sinner. Not only are you a sinner, but you are a sinner from top to toe. Have you seen anybody, any human being, a sinner from top to toe? It is absurd. Because if you are full of sins, if you are full of negativity, the nature will not allow you to live. You can't live as a human being if you are full of sin or full of negativity. There is a component of positivity in your system, in everybody's system that is alive. Yes, the variations, the proportions can vary. You may have a lot of negativity and you may have some positivity, or you may have a lot of positivity and some negativity. That is fine. That is a balance that the nature keeps to keep you alive. But to say, I'm a sinner from top to toe, at least literally, is not possible. But the system will make you very much aware that you are a sinner. And when we do discuss the psychological aspect of this, this is a strategy. It's a mental captivation strategy, which we will one day invite somebody and talk to them about how does this mental captivation strategy work. But yeah, you remember you're a sinner. So you basically go to, there is a part, a wooden platform, and there's some holy water you can drink. And that holy water obviously has been touched by Agakhan. And once you drink that water, it basically removes all of your sins, because and makes you pure, or cures you of your illness or your negativity. So the Ab is, let me explain to you what the meaning of Ab Shifa. Ab in Arabic is water. And Shifa is something, a medicine or an elixir that basically purifies you or cleanses you. That is called Shifa. So this water should not be underestimated. Yes, you will have to pay money for it, but it is available for you to drink in the Jamaat Khana, only in majalises. Then you have Dasond. Now, Dasond is a topic on its own, and I think in my past episodes I have spoken about Dasond, but it deserves a full episode on its own, and hopefully I'll do that in the future. But in a nutshell, Dasond is 12.5% of your income. that you must give to your imam. Now remember, I said you must. That means it is mandatory. Now, does mandatory mean that somebody is basically breathing over your neck in the Jamaat Khana to make sure that you have given 12.5%? No, that will not be required. The mental captivation is good enough to make you pay the 12.5%. You will not eat food without paying the sun. Okay, luckily, in the modern times, particularly after the internet and people like myself on the internet exposing the system, the people are not paying the zone anymore. And that has created a big issue for the imamat, and they are very concerned, but they cannot do anything about it. What they are doing, I've heard, and you can add to this if you wish, is that they are coming up with different innovative ideas to extort money. If you've heard of any new ideas that you've seen in your Jamaat Khana, please do share them with me so that I can pass it on to the rest of the community. So the zone is compulsory whether you are poor, whether you are rich, it doesn't matter. You must pay, otherwise what will happen is pretty serious stuff taught by our Ginans and our missionaries and the brainwashing material available in the Jamaat Khana. Basically, the idea is that if you don't pay the son, that means you are an illegitimate child of your parents. I've heard missionaries talking about this. Your food is impure, your blood is impure, your children are impure. And because you are impure, you will end up in hell, not only here, but in the hereafter as well. So, doesn't matter what, do not forget the son before you spend the money for yourself. Do not forget the luxuries of Agakhan before you eat your food. So the son is a compulsory, mandatory payment that you have to make, 12.5% of it. This is after paying the government's any taxes. Okay. But you must calculate the son on the gross income. Don't forget that. So let me clarify that. There's a lot of confusion about this. If your income is 100,000 before tax, you must take out 12.5%, $12,500, put it aside. And the government is going to tax you on $100,000, depending on your country. So in your country, it may be you may pay $15,000 in tax, as an example. So you will pay $15,000 to the government, and you'll pay 12,500 to Agakhan. That is the way it works. So that is, again, you can give your dasan, particularly the way it has been designed, is you pay the dasan ideally in Chandrat Majalis, because Sultan Muhammad Shah created that majlis. He said he created it for spiritual enlightenment. But I will do an episode one day to talk about the real motive behind Chandrat Majlis. Yeah, but yeah, people do bring their dasan on Chandrat, and there is a reason for that. So that is dasan. Another thing you can also do is dua. You can do ruhani ki dua in your majalis. So in the ruhani ki dua, the way it works is that you go to Mukhi Sahib and you basically tell him that my XYZ has died, and I need to make sure that they are in heaven. So these are about 17 different methods of extorting money in the Jamaat Khana. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to classify these methods. Okay, so in broadly there are 5 categories of uh, money attracting rituals and ceremonies. Okay, so the first group or the first category is forgiveness of sins category. In this category, you have dua karavi, you have guna bakshamni ki dua, and you have guna bakshamni ka chata. Then you have the second category, which is called mehmani services. In this category, there are 3 avenues. There is a nandi, there is a awal sufro, and there is a cash mehmani. In mushkil asan category, you have mushkil asan ki dua, and you have mushkil asan ka chata. But according to actually, there is a mushkil asan ka satado as well, which makes it yet another avenue. Then, but we'll count that satado in majalises when we come to that. Then you have cleansing services. Remember, you are sinful. You never forget that you are sinful, and you need to be cleansed. You need to be purified. So in this, you have 2 services. You have Dason and you have Abe Shifa. Then you have afterlife services. So in afterlife services, there are 4 categories. One is Ruhani Roshni Chata. One is funeral services. One is Mahadan Ka Chata. And one is Ruhani Ki Dua. Now, I would like to spend some time on the funeral services. Okay, because this is laughable, it is ridiculous, and it is actually mind-boggling. And how mind-boggling this is, just watch. So a person is born into an Ismaili family. He gives bayat to the Imam via the Mukhi Sahib, and he is then indoctrinated into believing that he must do everything according to what the Imam says. And accordingly, you participate in forgiveness of sins, you participate in mehmanis, you participate in mushkil asan, you participate in cleansing services to rid yourself of all the sins that you are full of. You have done that all your life. All your life. But now you are about to depart this world. Are you confident that the prayers of Agakhan or his ability to forgive the sins has worked? No. And I'm going to prove it. It has not worked. I'll repeat this. All your life, you have participated in a litany of different rituals and ceremonies. All your life, in the hope that by the time you are ready to die, you will go sinless. Now you are on your deathbed. You know what? You will ask for more. You should be confident by now. All your life, you have been forgiven by Agakhan. There's no sin left. But now you will ask the Mukhi Sahib to give you Mahadan Ka Chata. Why? Because you are not confident. Okay, Mukhi Sahib has given you the Mahadan Ka Chata. Now you are dead, and will in a minute follow you to the heaven in a minute, but let's stay here for your dead body is still here. In the Jamaat Khana, your family will go and basically conduct a special prayer. It's called ziyarat. And in this ziyarat, Do you think you will not pay, or your family, your surviving family will not pay for you? You have paid Aga Khan all your life. Your dead body is freshly been buried in the grave, and your family is paying Aga Khan on your behalf after you are dead. How are they paying? A relative of mine, his father passed away in United States, and he was basically participating in the ritual in the Jamaat Khana. So a volunteer tapped him on his shoulders and he said, "Have you brought it?" And my relative said, "Brought what?" And he said, "Have you brought the 3 envelopes?" And he said, "3 envelopes? What do you mean?" And he says, 3 envelopes. Your father has died. We have to gift Imam something, remember? First envelope is for the work Aga Khan is doing through Aga Khan Foundation. 2, you have to give money for partnership walks. And 3, if your father has made any mistakes during his lifetime, then this payment will cover those mistakes as well. All the payments that your father has made is gone to waste. You have to give money again. So this is the concept of 3 envelopes. Now, the person has freshly been buried, but the money on his behalf continues. But hang on, let him make it to the heaven or hell. Let him transcend to the skies, and then let's see what happens. He has made it there. Nobody knows what happened to him, whether he's gone to hell, heaven, or somewhere in the middle. We don't know, nobody knows. Imam doesn't know, the murid doesn't know, the volunteer doesn't know, and the missionary doesn't know, the Mukhi Sahib doesn't know what happened to the Ruhani. But guess what? Ruhani's family will come back in the Jamaat Khana. Long after he has gone, his body has decomposed, they will come back and say, "I want to do Ruhani ki dua." Why? We want to make sure our relative goes to heaven. So what I'm trying to say to you is, when you are alive, from the time you take birth and by the time you are buried, you will pay to Aga Khan. But your death will not stop Aga Khan from extorting money from you. After your death, your family will perpetually, continuously come to Jamaat Khana and pray for you by giving money for the rest of their lives until they die. Not only will they pray and give money for themselves, but they will do it for you as well, long after you are gone. Have you seen any religion, any cult, any religion, 150 or more ways of giving? I want your missionary to come to this channel and answer my question: what has got the spiritual practice to do with money? Money I can understand. Masjid, mandir, church, they all take money. But there is a box on the exit. You pay whatever you want to pay and you are on your way. It's as simple as that. 150 different ways. Now, you may say to me, where is 150 ways? I'm going to tell you. but not today. I'm going to continue this discussion. So far, what we have done, let me summarize, is we have spoken about 18 different ways of giving in the Jamaat Khana and in the Majalises. Now, next week, we are going to multiply this 18 by 17 Majalises. 17 different rituals, 18 different rituals you will repeat in 17 Majalises, and you get a number. I would like you to go to your calculator now and get that number. And I'll see you next week to talk about those 17 majalises and see what that number really is. Until then, you take care of yourself. I'll see you next week. Goodbye.